Hello, Amusement Park Porto. Welcome to our latest blog. Got lots to talk about this week, including Top Thrill 2. Lots of news going on with that ride. We'll get to that a little bit later. First, we're going to start out with some other news in the amusement industry, starting at Indiana Beach. Indiana Beach and American coaster enthusiasts invited us out this past week to check out the new All-American Triple Loop coaster. You know, this classic Schwarzkopf coaster that's been under construction for like the last, 3-4 years. It's finally up and it's working. We had our chance to ride it on the media event day, and what a crazy ride. It's, if you've ever been on a Schwarzkopf coaster before, you know that the inversions on it just pin you to the seat. The negative G's and the positive G's, all that on there is just extreme on a Schwarzkopf coaster. I love them. They're my favorite. Well, one of my favorite coaster manufacturers, and it's a shame they're not making coasters today, but some of my favorite coasters out there are Schwarzkopfs to this day. And anyway, back to the All-American Triple Loop. What a great coaster. It has 3 inversions on it. Now, this coaster has been transferred all over the place. It was in Mexico. Oh, God, I want to say Europe, maybe? And another country. I'm not sure off the top of my head here. If you remember, put it down in the comments below. But going through those loops, it just pins you to your seat. What a great feeling. I heard some people complaining about the headbanging. I didn't get too much of that. Now, I did ride 2 or 3 times. I rode 3 times. I did ride in the back of the train. I did experience more headbanging in the back of the train, but I rode towards the front and hardly had any. So I guess it does make a difference where you sit on the ride. They do have the over-the-shoulder harnesses that come down. Word of advice, the tighter they go down, the better you're off. There's going to be less headbanging the tighter that those are. Now, the only area I really experienced any headbanging in was the turn just before the 2 loops. Just as I was going down and the train was straightening out to go into those inversions, I got a little headbanging right there. Other than that, I really didn't get much on that ride. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm a tall guy or what, but nonetheless, great addition to that park. The park was really lacking that coaster that had like a regular sit-down coaster, had inversions. Now, I know they got Wild Hog there as well. That's a great coaster, fun coaster. But this kind of rounds out their collection a little bit better, And they're also installing a new ride right there to kind of bridge Steel Hog and the new All-American Triple Loop together. It's kind of like one of those Chinese junk swing type rides. Goes in a circle, kind of like the old Huss Ranger ride. Those are a lot of fun. I've been on some in the past. God, it's been years since I've been on one of those, but that's going to be operating there in that little gap between those 2 coasters, so it'll bring some more foot traffic over to that part of the park as well. So once again, I want to thank Indiana Beach and American Coaster Enthusiast for inviting us out. And if you'd like to know more about that coaster, you can check out our YouTube channel as we put out a video all about the media day at Indiana Beach. So moving on north of the border, we're going into Canada. Marineland has new owners. Don't know who they are. That information has not come out yet. But it is announced that the park will open this year with limited attractions at a reduced price. I don't know what that means. That could mean just the animal displays. That could mean just maybe a handful of rides. Nobody knows. The website is kind of under construction right now if you go to click on it. But from what I'm hearing, the rides were not certified for this year. I don't know if they can still be certified or if it's too late. I don't know how it works over in Canada. If you know, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm glad that park was sold. Hopefully some new owners can come in and get that place going. That park has a lot of potential. It's on my bucket list of parks. I want to try to get out there. I was kind of wanting to get out there this summer, but I might wait until they kind of get things up and going there before we return there. But great news out of Marineland. I'm excited to see what that park's future is going to look like. All right, the Six Flags and Cedar Fair merger is expected to be finalized soon. Now, I know this has been an ongoing thing since, oh gosh, was it like November last year, somewhere around then it was announced. Now, they are expecting the deal to be finalized the second quarter, which I believe that's in June. Yeah, June. It'd be right around June sometime. That merger will be completed. I know a lot of people are freaking out. Oh, I don't want this to happen, this to happen. I don't think you're going to see much, with the merger, at first at least. You might see like a combo pass to all the parks, like that type of deal. But operational-wise, I don't think you're going to see much for the first year or two. I honestly don't. And even after that, don't expect like Cedar Point to turn into a Six Flags park, and don't expect a Six Flags park to turn into a Cedar Fair park, vice versa. I don't think the changes are going to be that great. It'd probably be a lot of behind the scenes stuff. The IPs. Here's another thing. I found this graph, or here I'll put it up, of cartoons, popularity of cartoons. Now, this is all the way, this graph, it started in the 40s and it goes up to, 2020 here. Peanuts was on there for a short time, but it was near the bottom of the list. I think it went up by like 3 or 4 spots from the bottom and then just dropped in popularity. But in the meantime, Looney Tunes, as you can see on this graph, is up near the top of this list, still to this day, as one of the most popular cartoons out there. So the familiarity with the Looney Tunes is there. And being at the Peanuts, I keep hearing rumors about this, that the Peanuts IP is set to expire next year. We might see Looney Tunes in all the parks, replace all the Peanuts characters, unless Cedar Fair decides, yeah, let's renew the Peanuts. That could always happen. But it is set to expire, and I know they're kind of pinching pennies right now, trying to save money here and there. So I don't know if they're going to, foot the bill to keep the Peanuts characters, or if they're just going to absorb the Looney Tunes that's already paid for at the moment, into the parks. And honestly, personal opinion, I'd like to see the Looney Tunes in there. I know a lot of people like the Peanuts characters, but at the end of the day, the Peanuts are just not that exciting. I mean, kids know their Christmas special, and they know the movie that came out, about 10 years ago. Some of them know that one. But beyond that, that's really about it. The Peanuts are just kind of, they're cool and all, and they are nostalgic, but they're just kind of, I don't want to say bland, but they're just not, they don't hit it with today's kids. As to where Looney Tunes, a lot more action going on, a lot more characters. Kids can relate to those cartoons a little bit better, I think, than Peanuts. So that I see changing. And one request, if the people at Six Flags are watching this, one request for the parks. Please, can we please get rid of these membership cups and get the paper cup option like Cedar Fair has? I'm so done with these cups. I don't like carrying a cup around with me all day in the park. It could get lost, people steal them, and then I just have to worry about carrying it around with me all day. Let's get rid of these cups. I don't want them no more. Let's get the paper cups chain wide when they merge. It just makes sense. I know people are like, well, the paper cups are bad for the environment, but you know what? Those cups are paper. They're biodegradable. They're recyclable. I don't see a problem with that. So please switch over to those cups. Okay, speaking of Six Flags, we've got lots of construction taking place at Six Flags Great America at the moment, including the front gate area. They are doing a lot of work in the front gate area. It's all fenced off, and there is a structure starting to rise kind of in the middle there. Looks like 2 towers and a cover in the middle of the between those 2 towers. I'm going to assume that's for security checks and that, which would be great. That front gate of Six Flags Great America was in dire need of being replaced. It was pretty drab looking, to say the least. So I'm glad the park is investing money into it. A couple of the other changes that the park is doing is the new Sky Striker. The actual ride itself looks to be complete. Now they just have to do all the fencing, controls, queue line, all that stuff, and of course testing as well. Another couple changes, small changes. JD's Barbecue is no more. That's turning into Windy City Grill, if I'm saying that right. Bar and Grill. I can't remember. Something like that. It's getting totally remodeled in there. So that'll be fun to go in there and check that out once it's open. And Buccaneer Battle is still fenced off. So who knows what the future holds for that plot of land. Okay, going out to California, Knott's Berry Farms Camp Snoopy is delayed again. I don't know what the delays are. They've had decent weather. I don't think it's supply chain. I just think it's taken them a little longer than they thought to get this stuff completed. This time, it is till late June or early July is the time frame that the park is kind of thrown out there. Now I know they removed a bunch of the smaller rides and they're bringing new ones in. They're building a new family coaster in there as well. So that ought to be fun. But I'm keeping an eye on Montezuma's Revenge. Still no word on that other than the rumors that they did find another manufacturer to complete the refurbishment of that ride. So as soon as I hear more, I'll let you know on that one. Over at Six Flags over Georgia, the Georgia Surfer is taking place. There's lots of concrete formed for the station area in place down there. And it's moving around, or the construction's moving at a pretty fast clip. They're getting a lot done. I would expect to see that one open the earliest July. I'm not going to lie. It's not like Sky Screamer or Striker where it's just plug and play. This is kind of like a coaster water ride thing, and there's a lot more involved. So, yeah, that one might take a little while. But it seems like a lot of these parks, both sides, Cedar Fair, Six Flags are behind on construction projects this year. So, Universal Orlando is not behind, however. They're hinting a couple things. Well, one, I want to mention that the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket may be nearing the end of its life. There's been a lot of strong rumors out there pointing towards the park removing this coaster. Now, as you know, it's not the greatest coaster out there if you've ever been on it, but it's not the most enjoyable coaster either. The thing that did make this coaster unique, though, is you're able to choose music. You have like a little keypad, and there's a whole list of music. I think you see the list while you're waiting in line, and you can pick, like, if you like the Beastie Boys, for example, they'll give you the number, and you can punch that in, and it'll play that song while you're riding. I think there was a couple hundred songs maybe on that list that you're able to choose from. The other news coming out of Universal Orlando is the new DreamWorks Land will be opening to guests on June 14th. Now, this area used to be kind of like a hodgepodge of different things over there. Curious George, I know. I think they had what was that? Was that Kung Fu Panda they had in there, the show, at one time? I very rarely went back in there because my kids are outgrown that area. But, and then they had the Woody Woodpecker coaster, which is there still. However, that's rethemed to the Trolls now. It's called the Troller Coaster. I love that name. That's really cool. Other new things, they're going to have a live show, unique food offerings, several meet and greet areas, and much more. So I'm curious to see what they've done with that area. I've been kind of following the construction a little bit on that, and that whole area is looking good. Along with Epic Universe, too. I know we mention that every blog that Epic Universe is chugging along, and it's really looking like a theme park now. They're doing all the detailing and theming on the attractions, so it's looking absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for that park to open. Okay, Kennywood announced that Steel Curtain will be closed all year. Such a shame. This is like one of the coasters that has been plaguing me to ride. I mean, every time I go there, the coaster's closed. That one, and it was the one at Dollywood, Lightning Rod also. I just had bad luck with these two coasters. I hear lightning rod's a lot more reliable. So anyway, steel curtain's going to be closed all year. I'm hearing all kinds of things. There's structural issues. I'm hearing rumors that there's a lawsuit now in place against the manufacturer, all kinds of things. So who knows what's true, what's false, which is a real bummer. It looks like a fun coaster. I would really, really, really want to get a chance to ride that thing. And I hope they can get it figured out and working, because when I hear that's definitely one of the star attractions in that park. And the park is really lacking that 1-2 punch, besides Steel Phantom. So hopefully that all gets figured out soon. All right, down in SeaWorld Orlando, Penguin Trek. Very little testing has been taking place on that coaster. I don't know if it's because they're doing the theming and they can't test the ride while they're putting the theming in place, or if there's an issue. I've been kind of hearing both, rumors about both, that there's an issue with the launch, and I'm hearing no, it's just because of the theming. I don't know what to believe, so I really can't tell you what's going on there. Other than the building, in the Penguin Trek building there, the station area or the unload area for the ride, the dark ride that was in there, is completely gutted out. It's down to its bare walls now in there. So they're doing a lot of work, but being that it's still the bare walls in there, I don't see them getting this thing open, in the next month or so. I mean, I could be wrong, and they could come in there and work 24 hours, 7 days a week and get the thing knocked out, but I don't know what's going in there. If it's just a queue line, yeah, maybe, but if it's like part of the ride or a gift shop, I don't know. I saw some pictures of it in there, and it's completely gutted out. So looking forward to that one. I'm anxious to try one of these new B&M family coasters, along with the one over at Busch Gardens in Tampa as well. The Phoenix Rising, which has also been completed, the track work. So I would expect testing in that to begin soon on that. Okay. Now, the elephant in the room. Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point. Closed. Like what is it, about a week after it first opened to the public. Yeah, ouch. We went there opening day, got about 5, or opening weekend rather. We got 5 rides in on it. Remarkable ride. Awesome ride. It's just, gosh, I hope they can figure it out. I'm hearing multiple things. I'm hearing something to do with the wheels or the wheel bogies. I'm hearing that they found cracks in the wheel bogies, and I'm also hearing they found cracks in the wheels, the actual rims of the wheels too, and they're chewing through wheels. So take that how you will. Nothing has been confirmed what the real issue is on it. That's just what we're hearing. So take that with a grain of salt. But if it's new wheel bogies and they got to design a new wheel bogie and all that, it's going to be down a while. I hate to say it, but like we have going on our Facebook page right now discussing this, the wheel bogie is the part of the train that holds all the wheels together. The up stops, the side, and then the road wheels on the top. And then it connects to the train. That whole assembly is what we're hearing is cracks are being found in them. And like I said, if that's the case, they're going to have to redesign a whole new wheel bogie for this. That takes time. Then they got to retest it. The manufacturer has to retest it. Cedar Point obviously is going to have to retest it. A third party has to come in and do their own testing on it. Then I would assume that the state would have to come in and recertify the ride as well. And that's going to take time. So, but if it's the less of the two evils, if it's just like the wheel hubs cracking or something like that, they could switch over to like a stronger wheel and hopefully get the thing up and running in a shorter time frame. I really hope they can. This is, I feel really bad for the park. They've put so much into this ride, and there's a lot of excitement behind this ride with the public, and then this happens. But we've seen this before at all parks. New attraction opens, voila, there's a problem. Look at Maverick in the past, at Cedar Point there. They had to remove a whole entire element. Now they designed that coaster on a computer. They had engineers. All of them missed that element was going to be too severe for riders. So they had to remove it. This is kind of like that too. They were not expect. This is a prototype train, so a lot of this is new. It happens. It's a machine. It's going to happen. I see it all the time. I work in the automotive industry, and you could have a whole team of engineers design something, and the computer will check it out and say, "Yep, looks good to me." A week later, oh, wait a minute, we found something. Yeah. I mean, it just happens. This isn't Zamperla's fault. It's not Cedar Point's fault. This stuff just happens. I can honestly say I don't think that Cedar Point and Zamperla were like, yeah, let's build this ride and make sure there's a problem with it so it shuts down and we can't, I mean, let's be serious here. Come on. Like I said, though, back to the ride itself, we had a chance to ride it 5 times. Absolutely amazing ride. We got to ride all 3 of the trains. They have black, silver, and blue. We rode 3 times in silver, once in blue, and once in black. Now, one thing that we did notice on the silver train, there was a lot of shuffling going on the launch, like kind of back and forth a little bit. The black train, there's hardly any. Same with the blue train, there's a little bit, but not much. But the silver train, it was noticeable. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it either, but that was just our, take of it. And I wasn't the only one that said that. Pretty much everybody in our group agreed with that. But bad situation all around. I hope they get it up. Coaster Mania is coming up, which tickets went on sale this morning and then sold out a few hours later. And it was listed on there that the ERT Ford's still listed on there with an asterisk stating, the ride's currently not open. They don't know if it's going to be open in time for Coaster Mania, but fingers crossed that it is. Such a great ride, and I know a lot of people are bummed out about this. I guess people are canceling their plans to the park, to visit the park because they were going for that. But I got to tell you, what does the park have, like 18, 19 coasters? It sucks that the new coaster's not open, but it's such a great park. You have, 18 other coasters there you could ride that are great. You have Steel Vengeance, Maverick, Millennium Force, Gatekeeper, Valraven. You got all these great coasters there. I would never pass up an opportunity to go to the park, even if their top coaster or new coaster was not going. That's just me, but yeah. So that sucks, but it is what it is. It happens. And like I said, I wish the park all luck, and I hope they can get that figured out really quick. Now, the park did come out with an official statement saying that Top Thrill 2 is currently experiencing an extended closure as Zamperla, the ride's manufacturer, completes a mechanical modification to the ride's vehicles. Once the modification is complete, Zamperla, the Cedar Point maintenance and operation teams, and our third-party ride inspection partner will conduct a thorough review before approving both the modification and the reopening of this ride. Though we cannot yet confirm an opening date, we will provide updates at cedarpoint.com. We know our guests are excited to experience this incredible roller coaster, and we share your disappointment that we will not be able to operate it this weekend. We will do everything possible to reopen Top Thrill 2 as soon as we are confident we can deliver the ride experience our guest deserves. All right, Jeffrey Siebert from Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, has blessed us with these shots right here of the all-new Wonder Woman train. These are awesome. Look at this train. He claims it to be the all-new 2.1 generation single rail train for the park's Wonder Woman coaster. He says it's filled with enhancements offering new guest comfort and performance. Why does it sound like an automobile sales pitch? I don't know. But that's good news. I know that coaster's been down for a little while now while they redo some of the track in the station and then, prepare it for these new trains. So he also goes on to say that it's anticipated this coaster will open up in early July. So hopefully that's for 4th of July. I mean, that's their busy time of year, right? 4th of July. So hopefully they can get it open by then. More power to them. Fingers crossed. I love single rail coasters. Now I've only been on one so far, and that was the Jersey Devil over at Six Flags Great America. And amazing, absolutely amazing coaster. I had a blast on it. The coaster's great, and I just love the concept of the constant moving station to get people on. It's really cool. Kind of reminds me of one of those like Disney Omnimover type rides when it goes through the station. So, one moment here. Wet the whistle. All right. We got a couple more things to cover here. Dorney Park shared on their Facebook page this morning that the Lightning Falls and Cascade slides in their water park are being retired for a new attraction, expected to open in 2025. It stated the slides will not open this year, which is kind of odd because the water park's getting ready to open here in the next week or two, and they're just now announcing this. So I'm guessing they found something on there they didn't like, and they're like, well, let's just close it down and get it ready for next year. But here's even weirder than that. I just went on there and looked, and that entire post on their Facebook page vanished, gone, no longer on there. So either somebody jumped the gun and posted something they weren't supposed to post, or I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. That's kind of weird. I never seen a park come out and make an announcement like that and then delete the whole post. So I wasn't able to get a screenshot of it, but I did share it earlier on our Facebook page. But the park deleted it, so it's actually no longer up there. Last but not least, Busch Gardens Williamsburg has unleashed the Loch Ness Monster with many upgrades and new enhancements. I'm hearing nothing but positive things about this. They have replaced several pieces of track along the ride. The rough track pieces are replaced. I believe the trains are brand new. There's many new theming elements around the ride. There's even a couple on the ride itself, including when you leave the station, that turn to the lift, they got a scene right there, and it has one of the old coaster cars there. It's interesting. They added a big Loch Ness Monster coming up out of the water by one of the loops. So when you pass it, kind of looks like the Loch Ness Monster is going to swallow you up. And the cave tunnel, whatever you want to call it, helix, they have projections in there with the Loch Ness Monster on it, sound effects and lighting, all kinds of cool things. In addition to a rethemed and refreshed queue line and station. I did see some pictures of the station. It looked like they put up some like wood beams, and they kind of got rid of that cinder block wall look with some theming. And then the station itself, they've got some new theming elements involved with that as well. So awesome. I love to see these parks keep up on these classic coasters. We all love them, especially Loch Ness Monster. Has a lot of history behind it. And I do believe it's the last interlocking loop coaster like that in the world, from Arrow. So we got two coasters today, the All-American Triple Loop and Loch Ness Monster, all in the same update here, have been saved. So kudos to Busch Gardens, and again, kudos to Indiana Beach for saving a classic. So, yeah, that's all we got this week for you. Kind of a slow news week, other than the Top Thrill information coming out. And gosh, like I said, I hope they can figure that out. But anyway, please don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and share it with your friends. We're trying to get the word out about this blog. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations you'd like to see brought onto this blog, we're trying to tailor it to you. What you like, let us know. Send me a Facebook message or let me know in the comments down below what you think, and is there like a new segment idea that you have or something you'd like us to include? Let me know, because we're looking for new ideas to kind of get this blog off the ground. It's fairly new, so we got a lot of ideas. Just nothing concrete yet. So we have one last note here real quick is we do have a couple parks coming up here. We have Cedar Point coming up again this weekend. We're going to go check out the Top Thrill 2 situation. They got a couple new food offerings. I think they have a show or two that started up. and we're just going to see if there's anything else going on in the park too this weekend. So we're going to be there, and then weather permitting, the following weekend we're going to try to get out to Six Flags Darien Lake. Gosh, it's been probably minimum 10-15 years since I've been there. It's been a long time since I've been to Darien Lake.